Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. Welcome to another edition of Politics Today. I am Wilson Omasho. Well, it's all about politics today in the program Politics Today because Edo State is undergoing a process that will lead to the emergence of a new government. It could be from the ruling party. It could also be from the opposition, depends on the way they play their card. It's all about politics. But what is rocking the state right now is the impeachment notice served by the House to the Deputy Governor. He has 7 days, counting from Wednesday, till the 7 days expires for him to come defend himself. Perjury and leaking of government secrets. How does it feel? How does it sound? From the legal perspective, from the political perspective, from the moral perspective, that is what we're going to dwell on today. So, when it's time for you to contribute, you must be civil, even with your contribution. With me here in the studio, I have seasoned analysts that will throw open their minds into this particular topic to tell you how they feel about all this. To my extreme left, I'd like to welcome Ede Asenugwa. I think it was one-time chairman MBA, Benin branch, right? Yes, welcome, sir. I appreciate your comment.
Thank you very much, Wilson.
And of course, Reverend Olu Martins, a clergyman, a political analyst, and a rights activist. Welcome, Reverend.
Good morning. Thank you, listeners and viewers. Good to be here.
Right. And Dennis Society, a convener advocate for good governance and leadership. Dennis, welcome to Politics Today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your coming.
Glad to be here.
And before we tee off with today's discussion segment, I want you to take a look at this clip. Just have a listen. We'll be right back.
On resumption of plenary on Wednesday, Majority Leader Charity Agwobabuya announced the impeachment notice, revealing that the petition dated March 5 was signed by 21 out of 24 members of the State House of Assembly against the Deputy Governor, Comrade Philip Shaibu, which is more than two-thirds requirement stipulated in the Constitution. The Speaker, Blessing Agwebaku, acknowledged receipt of the petition and directed the clerk, Yahaya Omogbai, to serve the impeachment notice on the Deputy Governor with a 7-day ultimatum to respond to the notice of impeachment.
Clerk is hereby mandated to cause the service of this notice on the respondents, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, promptly, and he has 7 days to respond.
Addressing journalists after plenary, Majority Leader Charity Agwobabuya said the petition was based on 2 grounds of perjury and revealing of government secrets.
On the 26th of July, as a matter of fact, he filed a suit against the 3 organs of government and disclosed, knowing it to be false, informations that are not true. And more importantly, he filed under oath matters that are top government secret. Contrary to his oath of office, the Constitution is the ground norm, and any infraction of it leads to punishment. So by doing that, 21 members of the House signed the petition. The majority and the minority members, we are adding them that we are tired of the embarrassment that is consistently being given to the Edo State government. We are ready to make sure that it's investigated, and if found guilty, the proper actions will be taken.
Favor Osaro, ITV News.
All right, 21 out of 24 signed the impeachment notice, 7 days to come, respond. Barrister Ede, I want to start off with you. The legal angle of this particular notice being served the Deputy Governor. What's your view on it?
Well, in answering the question as to the legal angle, I think the question that comes to mind is whether or not the Edo State House of Assembly is covered by law, as to what they have just done. The very simple and straightforward answer to that is yes. The legislative arm of the Edo State government, as represented by the Edo State House of Assembly, is constitutionally empowered to remove the governor or the deputy governor from office on the ground of gross misconduct. This can be found in the provisions of Section 188 and its subsections of the 1999 Constitution as altered. The grounds as provided for in the Constitution is that it must be gross misconduct. It's further interpreted to mean that gross misconduct in the performance of the functions of your office. However, if you go further down in that section, section 180 subsection 11, it tries to describe what misconduct is, gross misconduct is, and it says, look, if gross violation or breach of the provisions of the Constitution, and secondly, or whatever the House of Assembly considers to be gross misconduct. So if you look at it, if the House of Assembly says in the performance of your office, they saw you sleeping in the office, that amounts to gross misconduct. Under that second leave of subsection 188 subsection 11, section 188 subsection 11, it may be covered. So, and listening to the majority leader, what he said clearly was that the impeachment notice, of course, the law says you must also specify.
Yes.
The gross misconduct you are referring to, you must specify it in the impeachment notice, of course, so that the holder of the office will know what exactly is required to respond to. And so they have said that leaking government secrets and, of course, lying under oath. As regards the law, yes, the House of Assembly is completely entitled to do what they have done now. They are empowered to do so. But for me, if you also listen, this was something that happened sometime in July last year.
July, yeah, I'm coming to that. Happened in July last year, and there were altercations, but we'll come to that. Now, Reverend Olu Martins, you heard what Majority Leader talked about. He said leaking government secrets and perjury. If you take a look at what Senegal quoted from the Constitution, gross misconduct, if you go deep down, performance as a deputy governor in this regard, and he said it is what the House of Assembly says what gross misconduct is. Marrying these two, is it really enough to send the deputy governor an impeachment notice?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say, in your opening speech, you said that there was crisis rocking the state. I drove from GRA to this place. Smooth drive. Nobody stopped me. No protest anywhere. Nobody's fighting. So there's no crisis rocking the state. What is happening is that, like Barrister said, the House of Assembly is carrying out its constitutional responsibility. It's as good as lawmaking. Number two, it's an impeachment notice. What it means is that it's like when your landlord sends you a quit notice, all right? It's not a fait accompli, all right? Perhaps the landlord wants to increase rent, and then he wants you to come and negotiate. The point I'm trying to make is that the process has only just begun.
Yeah.
What the majority leader has stated, your deputy governor will have the opportunity to defend it. It's not like when you impeach a Speaker of the House of Assembly. You can impeach a Speaker of the House of Assembly in one day. You will just move a notice, you will just move a motion of impeachment for whatever reason, and then before you know what's happening, the House members vote, and then the Speaker is removed. But this one is a long, process. The Deputy Governor has been given 7 days to respond to the allegations. He will respond to the allegations, and then the thing will probably move from the purview of the House of Assembly to the judiciary. All right. So and I don't want to preempt what the outcome of the investigation would be. There would be an investigative panel. The deputy governor will have an opportunity to respond. These are, great legal minds here, because they say audio terram pater. It's a principle of fair hearing. So the deputy governor will have an opportunity to respond as to when this thing happened, and as to when they are bringing it. It's a different ball game entirely. Yorubas have a proverb. Say sometimes it's not the day your child breaks a mortar that you deal with the child. Sometimes it's the day your child breaks a plate, then you remind you that's why you very break mortar 4 months ago. But it is left for these legal minds to let us know whether it is statute bar after 6 months or thereabout, for them to say, okay, we remember that you did X, Y, Z. As if the deputy governor, for instance, is guilty, for instance, let's imagine not conceding. Is there a time for which the House of Assembly can now say, okay, we remember what you did, some 6 months ago. So, but for me, it's the fact that there's no evil about an impeachment notice. There's no evil about impeachment.
Okay.
Because governors have been impeached, deputy governors have been impeached.
I'll come back to you, Reverend Martins. Move on to your side, team. Some are saying this thing almost happened last year. That was the beginning of the squabble, so to speak. The governor went to court to halt the process. All of a sudden, there was like a settlement. He was asked to withdraw the suit and all that, and everything became cook, nice and curry with some conditions given to him. Can one deduce that this is politically motivated?
I beg to disagree. I don't think this is politically motivated, because I stand in as convener of advocate for good governance. We have actually been in the forefront advocating that the members of the House of Assembly should call the deputy governor to order. We have been at the forefront of calling, making that call, that clarion call. So we're only very glad that the House of Assembly have now risen up to the occasion. They've listened to the voice of the people to do what is constitutionally expedient at this point in time, because we've had instances where the deputy governor have performed or acted in a manner that is very unbecoming of the occupier of that office. I'll give you one instance. There's a particular event that was being hosted by the state. The deputy governor had the privilege of knowing what the protocol, as established should be. But guess what? The deputy governor disrupted that event, almost caused a chaos in an event that is being hosted by the state to celebrate the anniversary of our state. That, for me alone, was enough for the House of Assembly to kickstart that process of impeachment. So, yeah, it has been a case of giving a very long rope for him to beat the retract and probably go and confess and make amends, adopt a more pious attitude towards governance. But it clearly shows that the deputy governor maybe is too big for that office. So it's important now that the House of Assembly rise up to the occasion, commence the process. Maybe that will send some very strong signals, because the House of Assembly is an independent arm of government. They have a duty under law. And if they are found that any arm of government is found to have violated the Constitution, it behoves on them to do the needful. And that's what they have done. And that action is in perfect tune with what the people actually want.
But they are saying that is not in concern of what you just said. They talked about perjury and leaking government secrets. You are now saying that it's not politically motivated, but for all you said right now, it's all about politics.
I gave you an instance.
Yes.
That singular action by deputy governor should have been enough. So giving you this other clear violation clearly tells you that even after that show of shame, he continued to perpetuate himself in such a lawless manner, and now the House of Assembly now feel that it is too much, and now they want to investigate. So I believe the people are fully behind it, and I'm telling you, speaking from my own perspective, because I lead a group of professionals, they are fully in support of what the House of Assembly is doing. And if they don't even set up a committee after that 7 days, we may be forced to even lead the protest to go and call the House of Assembly to do the needful as expected by law. And that shouldn't be seen as politics at all. That is governance and democracy in action.
Well, everything about you heard me say it's not political. It has nothing to do with politics, but governance. But it's a thin line, if not the same, between politics and governance. Do you agree? There's an assertion that it has nothing to do with politics, because one begins to point out that this might just be a witch hunt? Take it up from there.
Well, for me, I think, like you have rightly pointed out, there is a very thin line between politics. In fact, governance is politics. Politics is governance. I do not like speculating. Personally, I believe there is politics involved. But the House of Assembly has taken this step, has given you the reason why they are doing what they are doing. So the truth of the matter is that, look, we can decide to say this is the reason. There could be ulterior motives. There could be political reasons. But they have not said that, oh, we are doing it because it's politics. So you take the reason they have given as the reason because they are perfectly within the law to do what they have done. And like Reverend Olu Martins has said, it's just the beginning of a process. There's going to be an investigation. There's going to be a response. There's going to be a decision whether, oh, based on this response, we should go ahead to investigate. Then another vote will be taken. And then the judiciary will come in. There's going to be a panel to be set up by another independent arm of the government, which is the chief judge. He's going to set up, if it gets to that point, he's going to set up a 7-man panel. The 7-man panel will investigate and report back, not to the chief judge, but to the House of Assembly. So the Constitution has put in so many stages, hurdles, you know, to be crossed. So it's not a straightforward thing. This is just a notice. Okay? So, but the worrisome aspect is the number of persons, of legislators of
21 to 24
out of 24.
Yeah.
Where the law at this stage even requires just 1/3 to sign the notice. Yes. No. At this stage, 1/3 is what is required to sign the notice of impeachment.
Yes.
It is when it goes further than that you now require 2/3 of the entire members of the House. So
right.
instead of 8, you have 21. That's a dangerous signal. And if we take it that the membership of the House of Assembly, they are representatives of the states, then I will agree with society that what has happened is a yearning, is where the representatives of the general public in the state have come out to say, this is it. So 21 out of 24 is a massive majority. So he can be right to say this is what the people of the state, they are agitating for. So, but for me, like I said, and like Olu has pointed out, it could just be, oh, let's draw this guy's ear a little bit. It seems to be stepping out of line, and I quite accept the parable he has given, right? In Benin, we say it is not the day a child breaks a keg of palm oil that you deal with him. Sometimes you just go and break a bottle of water, you give him, and then look, that was how you know. So, and to answer the question, there is no time limit. The Constitution does not specify
any time limit.
Any time limit within which you do something. And of course, so like I said before, the House of Assembly, whether for good or for bad, but they have said this is the reason, and they are completely within their powers to do what they have done.
All right, now we all agree that they are within their powers to do what they have done, but take a look at the reason. Some of the opinion that this is just an act to give a dog a bad name in order to hang that dog. Proverbial, you must say. But I'm not saying that is what they're playing out, because we've already seen the end of this process. Olu Martins, over to you.
Well, first of all, let me again, I like scenarios.
Yes, sure.
David in the Bible was asked by his father, there's war. 3 of his sons had been recruited into Saul's army. Please go and find out how your brothers are faring. Take some food to them. And they got there, and then he heard the rantings of Goliath. I said, who is that guy? He said, and that guy, they threaten God's people like this. So it's okay. If somebody can fight that guy, what's going to be done to him? Then David's eldest brother, Eliab, went to him and said, you don't come again, Abi. You are too forward. Now everywhere you show yourself. You know what David told earlier? He said, look, isn't it because there's a curse? Supposing you people could kill Goliath before I come here, I won't have the opportunity, quote unquote, to show myself. But this Goliath threatening the whole nation. So there's a curse. I said all of that to say, supposing it is even politically motivated, is there a curse? Is there a curse to it? Is the deputy governor guilty of the things that they have talked about? So let us even say it is politically motivated, because I remember once in Warri, a guy was giving a joke, and somebody was following him behind, wanting to pick his pocket. His phone was there. But the guy will make a call, put the phone here, make a call, put the phone here. After a while, the guy at the back says, okay, put the phone one place now. He said, what? Say, I won't steal the phone. But as the moving up and down, I don't know the strategy to, adopt. Yeah. So if the phone were in one place, the guy would have had the strategy to adopt. This is, imagine that there's politics. If you give people a reason to do the things that they want to do, they will do it very well. Daniel in the Bible, they said, look, we can't find anything against Daniel except with regards to a relationship with God. In other words, they had investigated Daniel. And I felt, man, this guy, you can't fault this guy. So even if it's political, can the deputy governor, be faulted? If he can be faulted, then he has given, quote and unquote, the political reason and impetus to drive itself. Number two, like Barrister said, the house is not homogeneous, sir. It's multi-party. It's heterogeneous. There's about 13 or 14 PDP members. There are about 8 or 9 APC members and 1 Labour Party member. Why did I say that? Because people are giving the impression that it's because of the political ambition of the deputy governor. Where that's the case, APC should not be interested now. APC should go, it's even good self. Make if it's about ambition, let the PDP be dealing with itself. But the other APC people, forgetting this is 21 because a member is on suspension, and the other member is out of the country. The speaker cannot sign.
Yeah. So
if it was about let everybody indicate their signature, it will probably be 95%. So if 95% or 90% that I stand today are saying, and from all parties, APC, PDP, the governor and the deputy are from one party. So if it were just about politics, APC should not be concerned itself. But I think people have also looked at it and said, listen, man, the governor is subordinate to the deputy governor. That's why you are deputy governor. It's not co-governor. There's just one governor in the state. So if you act in a way, like the lawyers will also say, ultra bias, in such a way that it appears like you are confrontational, and then you want to get what you want to get, by all means, then maybe it's time for the deputy governor to put a check in it. This is not the first time, sir, and I need to quickly say this. All right. It's not the first time, sir, that a deputy governor will have an ambition. Pius Odubu was twice jinxed in a manner of speaking, but he's still a member of the party. We didn't see anybody rock the boat. Time will fail me to enter into
don't worry, I will come back to you. Well, this is not the first time, like you rightly said, that the governors have been under the knife, so to speak. But if we take a look at the situation, some are saying it's peculiar. Now, he said 95% yes by calculation is so right, signing the impeachment notice. There is a gist from the grapevine that there was an exchange of cash, financial gratification. That's the reason why some of these party members, though outside the ruling party, choose to kowtow to that particular impeachment process. Financial gratification. What do you have to say about this, Osaiti?
Say about what? The speculation? No, we're not here to speculate. We speak to the facts as we have them.
Sure.
As at this moment, there is an impeachment notice that has been signed, and I believe we should just hold a bated breath and wait, believing that the House of Assembly will do what the people really want, because that is the litmus test. If by the end of 7 days they don't write officially to the chief judicial of a committee or a panel to investigate this matter holistically, some of us may take the courage, go on the street, even file a lawsuit to compel the Assembly to do the needful. For you to start speculating and bringing, these are non-issues. The House of Assembly, as of today, there is a unanimity in decision. They have had enough, and that's what that signifies.
You say no cash exchange hands.
Absolutely.
No Ghana must go, no check, nothing.
These are speculations. These are speculations. Like my reverend mentioned, if there was no crack in the wall, probably there would not have been any avenue for the answer, whatever, to come in. So the deputy governor behaved honorably. Has he behaved honorably? Has he behaved in a manner of speaking that befitting of that office? These are the questions and the answers that the House Assembly must provide for us. So for anybody to now begin to conjecture that probably the reason why we had that popularity in signing of that notice is because cash was extended hand, that for me is a non-issue. What is important is that, do the people support that notice of impeachment? And the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
All right, now let's dig further into this particular issue. We have this Freedom of Information Bill, and it was accused of leaking government secrets. Could you please draw an analogy to that particular concept? He said something that people need to know. would that be likened to leaking government secrets? After all, we have the freedom of information law right now that is being operational in Nigeria since the time of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Over now to you, Ade.
Well, yes, there is the Freedom of Information Bill. That bill has its purport, has its purpose, has its essence. And what that means is that any member of the public, any Nigerian, could seek information in accordance with the provisions of that law. That is not quite the scenario here. If you look at the schedule to the Constitution, which provides for the oath of office of the governor and the deputy governor, it is clearly stated there that you are not going to release. There is what we call official secrets. The Constitution recognizes it, and it is part of your oath of office. So if you, by the constitutional requirement, when you are taking your oath of office, you have sworn to some level of secrecy in government, not to begin to disseminate information that has come to you by virtue of your office. It's there in the Constitution. So, and of course, if we are to look at it, that's why I said the Freedom of Information Act, as it were, has its provisions. And assuming, as you are thinking, that there is a conflict between the Freedom of Information Act and the Constitution will prevail. But on this occasion, I can assure you that there is nobody has sought that information from the deputy governor. Under the Freedom of Information Bill, it is somebody that will request for that information. And there is a procedure. If you meet it, then the officer in charge from which that information is requested is by law required to supply it. But on this occasion, sir, who requested for this information? From the deputy governor. An information which the Constitution, while you were taking your oath of office, says you will not, disseminate. So that's why I said, look, these are allegations, as it were, at this stage. They are allegations. And because the law says when you are making this allegation, specify in that notice. They have specified that, you filed a process in court where you perjured and then you leaked official secret. Those are so clearly he has an opportunity to respond. If he's going to now say, yes, I'm covered by the freedom of, he has an opportunity to say so. And at a stage in these proceedings, there is a point where, in appearing before the panel, if he gets to that point, he is entitled to be represented either in person or by a legal practitioner of his choice. So he's definitely going to enjoy the protection, that the Constitution has also provided in a situation like this. So for me, it's not about whether he's covered by the, no, he's not. And then if you are saying the issue of speculation as to exchange of cash, like I said, for us, it's not about speculation. If, for instance, now the deputy governor is able to come out and say, or any member of the House, especially one or two of the other ones who did not sign, to say, look, I didn't sign, but these are video recordings of where money exchanged hands. So this thing is not actually in good faith, but it is being actuated by, gratification. That is another issue. But again, like he has also pointed out, the question is there a ground? Is the House of Assembly entitled? So whether they are entitled, if you have given them a ground, whether gratification or not, it really doesn't matter. It's like you are giving somebody money to go and do the right thing, if there is actually a ground. So, but if there is no ground, then you are saying, the issue of gratification, and that's the reason why they are doing what they are doing, then we can question it. But we also need that evidence. It's not enough. Of course, in our society today, no matter the position you take, some people will find very mundane and unreasonable excuses to explain why you are doing what you are doing. And so, for us to be objective on this point, that's why I asked that question from the very beginning. Is the House of Assembly within the law? Are they acting within the purview of their powers? If that is yes, then so be it.
All right, if you just joined us, this is Politics Today. We want to go for a break. When we return, we'll delve into the issue of politics, the implication of this process. It's going to affect the party. Don't forget that those states will be conducting the election in the month of September. Don't forget that a house that is willing to win a battle must first of all settle all form of dispute, misconduct, even within the house, for them to have enough strength to go all out in any form or to any form of battle. It's all about the impeachment notice of the deputy governor, and he has 7 days to respond, and many opinions and of course views have been emanating from the public talking about that particular action. Some are saying that it's not healthy for the PDP as a party, but for the House to do what they did. Constantly, they are correct. But let's take a look at the party right now. They are saying with this act, it's further scattering, so to speak, the party, dividing the party into segments, and that may just impede their strength to win the forthcoming election. Oluma, what do you feel about this?
Thank you. Again, scenarios.
Here we go with scenarios.
Yes. Let us imagine too.
Okay.
That money exchange hands. Just let us imagine so.
Right.
I remember the Archbishop was interviewed once. Archbishop Benson that we hear that pastors are going abroad to beg for dollars. And the guy was going to defend it. He said, it's easy to beg for dollars. You go now and see whether they will give you now. But the point I'm trying to make is the fact that it's an open market. Supposing there is even money involved. I've heard the deputy governor say on air, on national television, that he has the means. So you two should go and it's an open market now. Supposing it is even true. But why people are saying that is that the people are saying that are telling themselves, if not me, I for collect. That's what they're trying to say. That's why the Bible says a man thinketh in his heart. So easy. If you think that somebody will steal in a particular position, when that thing happens, if you think that you will steal, you will think that the other person, will steal. But we have established the fact that these are just mere speculations. Until there is
some concrete evidence.
Yes, concrete evidence.
Yes.
I mean, there are rumors that we cannot, base our discussions on, speculations. Again, is the fact that when you say whether the party is dividing itself, I'm not sure anybody here is a member, of the party. But like somebody said in an interview, I don't know if it was him, says the deputy governor is one individual. Well, let us even now look at the politics. He's one individual from the ward, from the local government of the senator, Comrade Adams Aliu, Oshomole, who has held that particular, politically speaking, who's won all the elections, and statistics, play. So if I were a member of the party, supposing it now even happens that you are able to push out the deputy governor, I'll probably take that ticket out of that local government and give it to somebody else from another local government, from Edo North, maybe from Fuga or from Aginebode, so that we can leave that local government, in a manner of speaking, to Comrade Adams Oshomole, because whether Philip Shaibu is there or not, the Comrade governor will win him in that unit. I'm talking about.
But don't forget, one vote matters a lot in politics. Don't undermine it. The past just a vote.
No, it's one vote, and it's not just one vote in one unit. There is also 2/3. You must also cover at least, is it 12 or 14, local government in election. At any rate, is that this is April. I mean, this is March. Yeah. By April 21st, they will lift the campaign they will lift ban on campaign for campaigns. And the elections are in September, the 21st, I think. So there's a lot of time for politicking. There's a lot of time to mend fences. There's a lot of time to repair what may have been damaged by if it even now happens, we impeach Comrade, Philip Shaibu. But there's a lot of times to do that. I sat down with, if you like, a super politician in this state. And then, they were having a discussion with him. Said, go see that guy. And I say, what are we going to be discussing? He said, I just discussed with him and I give him a particular amount of money. Let's say, for instance, give him 25 million. And the guy said, no, why should I? I said, if I go to that guy's ward, I will see 3 young boys and I will give 5 million naira each. Those 3 young boys will help me checkmate that guy that will have given 25 million. I will have a balance of 10 million, and those 3 guys will have done the job that we expect them to do. Sometimes we overrate politicians. You and I are the ones who determine what will happen on that day. That's why they say the power in the people is much more than the people who are in power. Deputy Governor, with all due respect to him, in Right Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu, is one individual. He has one vote. Perhaps he can influence a couple of persons, his family, and a couple of people to vote in a particular direction. But as far as I'm concerned, he can test his popularity now. Why do I say so? Deputy Governor is a comrade. He belongs to a school of Nance official, he's a comrade. How can he test his popularity? How much, those his constituencies that he belongs to, how many of them will come out? We have seen an attempt of people to blackmail NNC. I'm sure that if a senior member of the bar, for instance, were the deputy governor, maybe the Nigerian Bar Association may, you know, in a subtle manner, put some pressure on it. So he has an opportunity to test his popularity.
So you're saying that he's... Hold on.
How much from the people...
Are you not saying that he's insignificant? Is that what you're saying right now?
No, nobody is insignificant. He's significant. But this is the opportunity now to test his significance from 21 members of the House of Assembly.
All right. Don't forget that the deputy governor, according to reports, he has good structure. And of course, every party will need all hands to be on deck to come out top in an election. If peradventure this bill goes through and it pulls out a structure, don't forget also about the legacy group. Let's dive down into politics. In the same PDP, do you think they stand a chance? Society?
What are the PDP stand a chance?
Yes, don't forget we have, like, no, let's say 3 groups right now. Okay. You want to impeach one. There is a legacy group somewhere in the PDP. Do you think if these splinters are not, brought together, do you think they stand a chance?
Yeah, a lot of persons made the same argument, probably before the primaries of the PDP.
Yes.
You know, I saw for the very first time some level of, unity, amongst the party members and leaders, even the aspirants who hitherto complained about the delegates election. You saw them at the field that day, throwing their hat in the ring.
Don't forget that nice step down.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Don't forget that aspect also. We are talking the politics right now.
9 aspirants took part in that primaries, and then they followed it through, and then at the end of the day, someone emerged from a process. Clearly tells you that there was a lot of horse trading, a lot of meetings, a lot of negotiations happened prior to the primary, and that negotiation is still ongoing. A lot of those who were very vocal, very forceful in antagonizing the emergence of someone like Aswa Ighodalo, they've suddenly gone mute. Are you not wondering what's happening? So that tells you that the person who has emerged from that process is a master strategist.
But one can be silent, but he or she will not concede.
Let me learn. It's a boardroom group. So a lot of meetings are ongoing. You will be shocked that the deputy governor is alone. By the time his immunity is dropped, you will be shocked that those who have been singing the praise and mounting the rostrum and praising him to high heavens, he will look behind and see nobody is there anymore for him. So I don't want anybody to overestimate anybody. Like my friend has said here, at the end of the day, everybody has one vote. The governor has one vote, the deputy governor has one vote. If let's even assume but not consider that he leaves the party hungrily, he will not determine what happens at his unit. He may not even be in Isako on the day of elections. He can decide to stay in Benin. So clearly, let nobody begin to think too highly of himself. He must be humble even when you are in power, because power is transient. You can be governor today and your deputy governor tomorrow, and that can be removed from you overnight. What happens? You will go back to that same one man, one vote mantra. And that is what everybody should be the guiding principle. So the deputy governor, the governor, myself, we all have one vote. So whether or not the party can sell its manifesto once the campaign starts, that decision is going to be left for the people. And the people will determine who become the governor, and not one person, not even Comrade Philip Shuaibu, that will determine the political fortune of any political party in the next election.
All right. When our beloved governor was coming up for the second term, most people said that he won the heart of Edo citizens out of sympathy vis-a-vis the fight against godfatherism. Now, someone up in this picture, please just go with me. You used a son to fight the father. The father was vanquished, so to speak. And now, you finish using the son, you want to discard the son. Don't you think people will have sympathy towards the son? Thereby calling you a manipulator of the system. Do you think this will all go well for the party right now? Painting this scenario. Don't forget, each one do have their structure.
Let me say straight away.
Yes.
They've made some points. I do not entirely agree. Politics is a game of number. In as much as you do not overestimate anybody, it will also be a very grave mistake to underestimate anybody, especially where it is the person of a status of the deputy governor. Don't forget, this deputy governor has been a member of the House of Assembly for 8 years. He was in the House of Reps, and he's almost completing another 8 years as deputy governor. There is no way you can say he has one vote. There is absolutely no way. And every single vote is important in politics, except you have some other reasons to think that this person can go to hell and I will still win. But if you need it on the basis of, oh, votes actually cast, every vote is important. I agree with you, Wilson, when you say that PDP as a party, it's important for them to put their house in order. It's important that every PDP member collaborates in the struggle that is ahead. Whether they like it or not, politics is about interests. And within a political party, there are varied interests. You talked about the legacy group. That is the group led by the Deputy National Chairman and former State Chairman, Chief Danobe.
Danobe, yeah.
They have their grievances. There have been internal wranglings in the party. Now, the Deputy Governor has his own, rightly or wrongly. It is important that they go into the elections as a united front. I do not want a situation where the governor thinks, oh, my deputy is not relevant. If he was not relevant, he was relevant in the fight against Oshomole. He was relevant. They had meetings, they had strategies, they did things together. You know what has suddenly gone wrong? There is nothing like whatever may have gone wrong. It's in their interest, collective interest, to settle those issues before the elections. I do not want the governor and his people to say, oh, these people don't matter. They do matter, because if you have a spoiler within you, they are politicians, so they know, they should know. You know, sometimes, even personally, when I saw the deputy governor, I said, well, oh God, deputy governor interested in governor. Personally, I do not think, oh, well, your brother Oshomole just left, Edo South is in.
All right.
Then, you know, you want it to go back and it should go back to the same. So for me, I had my issues with it.
08077770300 is the number to call. 08077770300. What do you feel about this impeachment notice served the deputy governor? What do you think will be the implication? What do you think will be the impact in the forthcoming election? We talked about the legal aspect, we're now talking the politics. Is it going to have any effect on the ruling party, the PDP? Don't forget about the splinter groups, whether I believe it or not, there are factions here and there. And are they talking about something bringing them together to forge ahead as a single unit? What do you feel about all this? Please continue.
So yes, like I was saying, again, politics being a game of number is about, will you be able to garner the majority of votes? So it really doesn't matter where you come from. So if the deputy governor had won primaries, because each of the political parties, they are most interested in winning the election than in the area you come from. So they rather give their ticket to a candidate they believe can win an election for them than to be looking at, oh, where are you coming from? But it is best if you are able to look at the area you are coming from and you are also getting a very good candidate from that area. So for me, I think everybody is important. I think it's important for the party to put their house in order going into the election.
Over to you, Lou Martins, painted the same scenario, using his son to fight the fight, and of course, all of a sudden, after that, the son all of a sudden became relevant. And now you want to toss the son away. People are like painting this picture already in the streets of Edo State, not only Benin City. Do you think with this mentality that they're having, will they come out in mass to support the same party?
Let me answer very quickly. Quickly. I am going to be 50 this year.
Yeah.
20 years ago, nobody could make me fight my father. The apple will not fall far from the tree. What people will make you do is what is inherent in you. Noah had 3 sons. The youngest son saw the father's nakedness and laughed at it. Told the 2 eldest sons, they said, God forbid. They took cloth and went behind. Everybody should take responsibility for his actions. You have not failed until you say somebody made you fail. Nobody can, as an adult, you say you made me to fight my father. Either there's something wrong with you or you are wrong with something. Nobody can make me fight my father. Except you or yourself have bad attitude that people can showcase. They notice the attitude, so they pushed you towards, that attitude. Let me tell, I agree that we need everybody, but it's a multi-party system. Labour Party members will never vote for PDP. APC members will never vote for, PDP. And PDP members will not vote for AP. So you're talking about leading everybody. I like statistics, how many people are actually partisan, actively partisan? You'll be shocked that it's not up to 15% of Edo State, of the voting population that is actively, partisan. Many of them are waiting for the party to sell their candidate to them. So I agree that as much as, that's why people say be at peace with people, as much as is within you. Because some people are incorrigible. Some people just want, okay, you know what, since the governor, as we heard, since the governor produced the governor and deputy, it's our turn to produce the governor and deputy. Is there anywhere in Nigeria that a governor will not be interested, who succeeded? So there are some negotiations that no governor or no leader can, concede to. At any rate, Israel, God asked Gideon to go to war. Gideon packed 30,000 people. God said they are too much. So what did he do? God shortlisted them, 30,000 people. God made them 300 people, because power belongs to God. But finally, I like the movie Spartacus. Some guys came with 3,000 people to war. The guy came with 300 people. The guy said, we have more warriors than you. Say, you are a carpenter. You are a goldsmith. They recruited you for the war. Then he looked at the people. He said, Spartacus, who are we? And they said, in other words, eventually I came with more warriors, than you. You need everybody. But if you can't get everybody, you strategically look for people that can help you. Because as long as you have a rotten tooth, sir, and they get bad teeth, well, as long as you have a rotten tooth, you will be chewing with care. And as long as you have a flat tire, there's just how far that you can drive. So pause a bit, change the flat tire, and move on.
All right, pause a bit, change the flat tire, and move on. Having serious technical difficulties, talking about the cause of the network connectivity. Yeah, that's the right word. We're having serious network issues right now. Maybe that's what we've been trying to call into the show. It's not coming through. Network problems. Well, we're going to have the last one of the show. The same question, budging on the PDP, the chances of winning, knowing fully well that someone is about to be thrown out. If it goes through, impeached, we have other factions that are aggrieved. Don't it be a smart thing for the government of the day to drop this impeachment proceeding so that it can be very, very strong, one indivisible party to fight with a particular seat at Dennis Avenue? Take it up from there.
Yeah, the impeachment, like we have said, we have pointed out that it's a legal issue, right? And it is within the remit of the House of Assembly to determine what further steps they're going to take on this issue. So that is a matter on its own. Then, but the politics of it, of course, yes, we have said before that the PDP needs to put his house in order. And I'm very confident that the candidate of the PDP, looking at his pedigree, will be able to sit around the table of negotiation and ensure that he has all willing members to be on deck, all hands must be on deck. And he has already started making those moves. We are already seeing the low-hanging fruits. Like I said, those vocal voices before the primary, have you heard them since the primary coming out to come and cast aspersion on the party? The answer is no. That really tells you there are a lot of horse trading going on behind the scene. We must be patient to wait for the product, the end product of this negotiation. Of course, if the deputy governor wants to show the spirit of sportsmanship, let's even assume he's impeached tomorrow. But he can show remorse by working for the party, showing to the leadership of the party that, sorry, I might have behaved badly, but I'm ready to turn a new leaf to work for my future. And in any case, the issue of saying whether he was used against his father, for Christ's sake, the deputy governor had a lot to benefit. Remind, when the governor moved to the PDP, they told him to drop his deputy. But the governor stood to his ground and said, if I don't bring my deputy in, I don't want a ticket. The governor says so. So who made more sacrifice for who in that move? All right. The governor benefited greatly. Thank you. From the betrayal of his father. So thank you. He cannot be here to be complaining now. I've enjoyed the benefit of your bad behavior.
Thank you. Yes, we have to go all out asking questions that are just there lurking in the hearts of mind of Edo citizens. We have to ask these questions because it is good for a party to be united, to go out there as a unit to achieve anything. Rancor, disagreement here and there, Is it going to be healthy for the party in the forthcoming election? Well, you've had their opinions, you've had their views, their own opinions, their own views. Let's see how this will pan out. Gentlemen, thank you so much for wonderful analysis, for your wonderful opinions.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, that's it on today's edition of Politics Today. Bye for now.